So one piece versus an example of a two piece.
Put it on!
No, this video is purely educational. I'm not trying this. Are you happy? I hope you're happy. I hope you're happy too. Come on, Nico. Yeah, let's get out of here. Should you go with a one piece or two matching top and bottom tri-kit pieces for your race? Triathlete's most perilous question. And this video is going to help you decide. Hey, it's Coach Eric and Nico bringing you another video. This guy is up 4 pounds, so I'm continuing to take advantage of being able to hold him for a few more videos. But this topic, whether it's a one piece, a two piece, wetsuit, non-wetsuit, he doesn't need any of those things. He doesn't have to decide. But whether you're a newbie triathlete or an experienced triathlete, the one piece, two piece question continues to be a great question. And a newbie triathlete actually emailed me and asked me this question. So thank you for the question because it's a great question. And if you have any other questions, email me at ewjtri@gmail.com or put a comment right now below. Your question might be the next video. Now, whether you go with a one piece tri-kit or a two piece, it's really an individual decision, and most people know that, but it still helps to kind of hear the benefits or pros and cons of wearing each, and hopefully this video will help you decide. So, most people go with a two-piece. Here's why. Number one reason for a two-piece is really just comfort. You typically get a better fit by having a separate top and bottom. An example is if you need a large on the top, but maybe a medium bottom, you got broader shoulders. It's just going to fit you better having those two separate pieces. If you have a one piece, on the other hand, it's all connected. And so if you have those broader shoulders, or if you're taller, or even if you're, the opposite, if you have a shorter legs, it's not going to fit quite right. Something might bunch, or it may not come down to your knee if you want it to because your shoulders are bringing it up. So just comfort is the big one to get a two piece. Number two reason for a two-piece that goes along with comfort is that the two-piece is usually less restrictive. And again, by having two separate pieces, if you move your shoulder up, you're only moving up this much of a garment as opposed to connecting it, all the way down. So you just definitely have more movement in both the legs and the upper body. Number three reason on the two-piece side is that it actually could be cooler. With a two-piece, these aren't connected, so you're going to get some heat escaping and also some airflow coming in, versus all one piece. It usually tends to be a little bit hotter, so think about that. Number four reason for a two-piece, and probably the most important reason, is easier bathroom breaks. When you're rushing to that porta potty, you got a two-piece, all you got to do is just pull it down and you're good to go. And guys, even if it's just going number one, with that two-piece, you got to unzip it, pull it over your shoulders, pull it down. It might get tangled up in the race belt. So that one piece is just a lot more restrictive, especially with the bathroom break. And even if you feel like getting it off is not too bad, the harder part with the one piece is when you're in that hot porta potty, it's 85 degrees, you're sweating, it's sticky, and you're trying to pull it back up over your shoulder and it's sticking and it won't unravel as fast as you want to. You're worried about your time, or it's hot in there, maybe someone else is waiting. So it's just, an in and out, much faster two-piece bathroom break. So if that didn't convince you to wear a two-piece, stick around. Here's the one-piece benefits. Number one, it's usually faster in both the water and on the bike. Now, when it comes to water, obviously, if you're wearing it without a wetsuit, it's faster than a two-piece. And so that can sort of be negated by wearing a swim skin. If it's a non-wetsuit swim, that would be a one piece over top of your two piece. But otherwise, comparing 2 to 1, one piece is faster in the water. And then on the bike, the one piece is faster as well in terms of less drag. Number two benefit for the one piece is there's no waistband. And there's no that pressure or that restriction there. I've had a few races where I didn't have the best stomach feeling, felt a little bit bloated, or and that waistband on the two-piece really put the pressure on there, and I found myself wanting to roll it down, or it was just uncomfortable. So again, that's something to think about depending on how long your race is, how you do with nutrition. Number three reason to wear a one piece: no sunburn on your lower back. I learned the hard way. When you wear a two piece, no matter how well it fits, running, swimming, standing, walking around your kitchen, when you get in that aero position, it can really ride up the back, and it's just enough where I've gotten some nasty sunburns just with that little 1 or 2 inch separation, of riding on an aero bike. Now, I've never had that sunburn problem with a two-piece. Doing an off-road triathlon, you're more that upright position on the mountain bike, and you don't get that sunburn feeling. So again, all these factors take into account what types of races are you doing and how long are you going to be out there. And you want to take the time to put on sunblock. And the fourth benefit to a one piece is usually there can be less chafing or less hot spots or less chances, typically because there's just less seams being a one piece garment. But I've worn, again, both one piece and two piece, and I haven't noticed really a difference as far as chafing goes. And in both instances, you're out there in the triathlon, I'm always putting lube or body glide in places where there's even likely to happen, and so I just prevent it before it even gets started. Additionally, a one piece tends to have more compression, if that's what you're looking for, but I've had a couple two pieces where, especially in the legs, there's some really good compression. So again, they may vary individually. Then the other issue is do you want to have just the tank top or do you want to have short sleeves? And so what I mean by that is this one here has actual sleeves, short sleeves, but you can get that both for a two piece or for a one piece, and that's probably a whole other video whether you want to utilize that or not. And finally, a one piece tends to have less pockets, and so depending on how many gels or bars you want to put on the side of your shorts or in the back here, but there's so many different makes and models of tri-kits that you could probably find a one piece that has pockets and a one piece that doesn't have any, so that would actually be faster in the water if it doesn't have any, right? So definitely do your research as far as what particular ones you want, but they are very similar, and it just will fit down to your individual preferences. Personally, I like to wear one piece for the shorter races, especially since I don't have to use to go to the bathroom, and then a two piece for the longer races. At the same time, I've worn a two piece in a sprint, and I've worn a one piece in an Ironman. So it really just comes down to personal preference and fit and some of the things that we talked about. Last thing to think about is your specific race and the conditions of that race. So not only the length of it, but is it going to be really, really hot? So if you're doing an Ironman race in hot weather, you're probably leaning way more towards the two piece that's probably more comfortable, fits you a little bit better, easier to go to the bathroom, cooler. Whereas maybe a shorter race, you got the one piece, it's faster in the water, faster on the bike. If you're on the mountain bike, the speed doesn't matter so much, so you're back to the two piece. So kind of weigh all those things back and forth, try them both. Put a comment below, tell me what works best for you and what type of race, and if there's a really specific brand or one that you really like, help the other viewers out, put that down. It'd be a great help, and hopefully this helped you decide. So I will see you next week with Nico being a little bit bigger and a new video, and see you on the trails.